Acrylics are an exciting medium for artists. They thin with water and mediums. They stick to many different types of surfaces. As a man-made plastic, we can make them have any viscosity that we want. And the fast-drying nature, I appreciate as an artist. I work through a lot of different projects very quickly. I don't have to wait a long time for drying. However, the fact that they're a plastic, a fast-drying plastic, can play havoc with your brushes. Most people think that once an acrylic brush is hardened, it is no longer usable, can't be fixed, and must be thrown out. I wish they would have taught me this in art school. You can save an acrylic brush. Let me share with you the 5 things you need to know, and then you will know the secrets to cleaning an acrylic brush too. My name is Kim Fjordbotten. Let's get started. So the first thing you probably already know. Plastic does not like to stick to plastic. We know this because we all work on plastic palettes, and I don't know about you, but at the beginning of every painting process, I do enjoy pulling the plastic off of my palette. So what does this mean? It means that when you have a synthetic hair brush with acrylic dried in it, chances are you can peel that plastic right off the brush. So my second point is that synthetic brushes are better for acrylics than hog bristle. Let me point out here too a couple brushes that I have saved. These are your very inexpensive find anywhere bristle brushes. And through the cleaning process you can see that hog bristle doesn't like water. It's also a very brittle hair, especially in the cheap brushes, and it doesn't handle the cleanup that you need to do with acrylics. So by the time you're done cleaning, they've kind of puffed out like little brooms and not very usable. So if you were to switch to a synthetic brush, these were also hard and I have cleaned them. And here you can see they've held their shape quite a bit better. So now I'll still be able to make nice fine brush strokes and even lines. I'll be able to push around paint and have the edges still remain crisp and clean. So the third thing you need to know about acrylics is yes, they do dry to the touch very quickly, but in fact, it takes them a long time to cure. And the curing process in acrylic is called polymerization. So when things are first dry to the touch, there's still lots of openings in them. And it can take sometimes a few days and up to several weeks before all the colors will dry, all the water evaporates, and they become very tightly bound. That's called polymerization. Before that time, acrylics do act like sponge and they pull in more water. So if you've set your brush down for a day or two, you don't need to go into any solvents at all. Just put them in a little cup of water, hardly anything like this, just enough to cover the bristle. And I guarantee you that the water will absorb into the acrylic and you'll see the acrylic kind of turn white again as it starts absorbing water. And then you'll be able to literally pull it off just like you did on the palette. So that was tip 3. It will reabsorb water and become soft again. The fourth tip you need to know is there is no need to go to any solvents. Nope. No turpentines, no xylenes, no mineral spirits. None of those are going to touch acrylics. Those are not the solvents for acrylics. You know what breaks down acrylics? Ammonia is 1. There's tip 4. And alcohol is tip 5. Ammonia and alcohol is readily available all over your house. I could sell you brush soaps that have it in it, but honestly, if you have Windex at home or any of the new Greenworks cleaners, they are based on corn alcohol. That will work. But these products definitely work to break down the acrylic polymers and emulsions and make it soft again. Here's an example of a synthetic brush, and you can see I'm soaking in it a bit of the Windex blue, whatever it's called in your neck of the woods. It's the blue window cleaner. And here I just want to show you that it is got that little, is it focusing there? It's starting to turn white again, and I can soften that, rub it in my hand like that, and it will start to break down. Look at that. I can start to peel away the acrylic just like that. You can use different tools. Here's my broken down comb from combing it. You can also use a nail brush. And my big brushes, sometimes I use a fork just to pull the paint off. Really hard on your manicure to go like this, but I do a lot of that too. So ammonia and alcohol will break down the acrylics to wash them. So, wait, there's 2 more things you need to know about cleaning acrylic brushes. One, if in your process all you do is add water to your acrylics, you're not adding any gels or medium, all you're doing is diluting your paints with water, you are diluting the adhesion properties of the paint. So naturally that's going to be easier to wash out of your brush. We normally recommend when you're thinning acrylics that you do it with a medium. If you're thickening them, use a gel, and that will add strength back to your paint film and it will help it stick to your canvases more aggressively. But for brush cleanup, just thinning with water is easier for cleaning out. So if you really don't have time in your painting process, at least swish your brushes out really well in the water and get all that paint pulled out just by squishing it out with a paper towel, and it will make your cleaning later on a lot easier. For schools, most paints sold in the schools are water resoluble acrylics. So unlike artist quality, which you want strong film integrity, for school paints, they're often made to be more soluble. So, we know kids are going to get it on their clothes, that they're going to get it on the paint surfaces, so things need to wash out. So teachers, if you're using a product like, say, Chromacryl, it naturally washes out even after it's dry. So there's a couple more tips for you. What about those brush soaps, you ask? Well, we did test several. After washing nearly 100 brushes, I didn't record everything, so you're going to have to trust me that these work. I do prefer the brush soaps that come in creams and gels. I'm able to lather them around the brushes and leave them sit. Since Perel is 70% alcohol, I tested it on this bristle brush, and you can see that it softened the brush probably about 80% more functional than it used to be. That brush used to be hard right to almost to the tip. The Savi hand soap gave it a really tough brush. This is a 10-year-old brush, and we were able to get at least the tip of it functional again. A brand new brush soap is Pebio's black brush soap. It is made with olives. It has no animal byproducts, and it's easier on the hands, and it really reconditions the hog bristle and natural hair brushes. The oil will soften the dried paint. It migrated so deeply into the brush. Look at this old brush. We got way down to the ferrule. We have now a 99% functional brush. Saved! Yay! If you watched the oil cleaning brush video, you know that I favor Bristle Magic. Here was 2 absolutely hardened acrylic brushes, synthetic hair. The paint was just glued right into them. We soaked them about half an hour in Bristle Magic, and now we have 2 functional soft brushes again. And you can clean a lot of brushes in a very short period of time. Schools, get together and just have a brush cleaning day. It will save you a lot of money. More importantly, when you can take care of your brushes, you'll be less intimidated at investing in better quality tools. And this is really important to me, not just because I own an art store and I would love to sell expensive brushes, although I would, not kidding. But more importantly, a good brush in the hands of an artist can change the way their art is created. It can make the process more pleasurable for you, and you're not fighting against the tool is helping you, it's inspiring you. So whether you're buying a bigger brush to make bolder brush strokes across the page rather than buying that little 1-inch brush you can afford, you can invest in the 3-4-inch brush you should be using for your large canvases. Or that fine detail brush of natural hair where you need to do a fine thin line across the page and you need a natural hair brush to do that. And you're scared of spending $20 for a little tiny brush when I know it would work so well for the technique you want to do. So clean your brushes, learn to take care of them. And I hear so many times people say, oh, I don't have time to clean my brushes. I just buy cheap brushes and throw them out. I want to leave you with just a little story to put it in perspective. A bachelor friend of mine hated doing laundry so much that he would go to the secondhand store every week, pick out clothes, wear them, and then not wash them. He'd just throw them in the basement. If that appalls you, just because he was too lazy to do laundry, that's how it appalls me when people say, I don't want to clean my brushes. Seriously, it's just part of the process. Hopefully the tips I've shared in this video will make it easier and more successful. If you have any questions, do call us. See you soon.